Hello everyone. This lesson will explain the drawing of multicolor reverse yarn adding pattern, hereinafter referred to as multicolor raya pattern. It displays multiple colors on the front of the raya pattern. By putting different colors of yarn on the yarn feeder, you can make gradient or intermediate color effect on the pattern. Explain on the basis of this two-color reverse yarn adding pattern. First, divide the two-color reverse yarn adding into multiple areas, such as 3 regions. That is, 3-color reverse yarn adding pattern. Because the cloth needs to have 3 areas of different colors after knitted, so you need to change the color in the intarsia layer. Each area uses a different color to represent the yarn feeder knitting area. Change the color of the right area. The pattern on the right suggests that you use the yarn feeder on the right. This will make the float line shorter. In this way, the intarsia layer is drawn. Step 3. Set the knitting form, same as to color. Set intarsia normal yarn on function line 216. Then group the yarn feeders into the first group. Step 4. Set the yarn feeder. In yarn feeder system settings, the first group, click Auto 1. The software will automatically generate all the color codes drawn in intarsia layer and the represented yarn feeders. Each color of raya pattern is knitted with 2 yarn feeders at the same time, so it needs to be modified. The main yarn in color 2 area is number 2 yarn feeder, and the sub yarn feeder is number 5. The main yarn feeder in the color 3 area is number 3 yarn feeder. The sub yarn feeder is number 5. In the color 4 area, the main yarn feeder is 5, and the sub yarn feeder is 2. The main yarn feeder in color 5 area is number 5, and the sub yarn feeder is number 3. In the right area, 15 corresponds to yarn feeder 5. The main yarn feeder is number 5, and the sub yarn feeder is number 16. Color code 16. Flower part is knitted with number 16 yarn feeder at the front and number 5 yarn feeder at the back. Number 5 yarn feeder from left to right. The whole part is knitted through. Compile. When compiling, select the ADF self-running model. Multi-system. Edit. This row is yarn feeder number 5 with yarn feeder number 2. Shown is the color of the yarn from number 5 yarn feeder. The next line is yarn feeder 5 with 3. Shown is the color of the yarn from number 5 yarn feeder 2. Yarn feeder 3 with 5. Shown is the color of the yarn from 3 yarn feeder. Number 2 yarn feeder knitting area. Number 5 yarn feeder knitting area. Number 3 yarn feeder knitting area. Number 16 yarn feeder knitting area. The front flower part of this pattern is discolored in vertical stripes, and the surrounding background color is the same color. The back flower part is the same color, and the surrounding background color is changed by vertical stripes. If you want a whole strip of different colors, can be obtained by adding yarn feeders. Middle part unchanged. Add another yarn feeder on the right, instead of number 5 yarn feeder. The main and sub yarns of these three parts are different. Compile. When there is no shared yarn feeder in adjacent areas, tuck action is required to connect. Let's take a look at the knitting area of each yarn feeder. That's all for this lesson. Thank you.